power starters. It is time for our long-awaited video between myself and Jill. Hello from me.
Hello, guys. Short and sweet.
Don't talk over me. As promised, we are going to be talking about challenges. We know that a lot of you are facing challenges right now. We sent you guys an email, and every one of you who responded, everyone's going through a really tough time. So Jill and I just wanted to chat about how we cope or don't cope or get back on track after we've had a tough time, because we've been facing our own personal challenges recently. So we just wanted to ask each other a few short questions about it, so you guys can listen to what we've been up to, how we've gotten through our tough times or are getting through them, and maybe take some inspiration for yourself, either now or later when you feel up to it. It's all about you and all about when you're ready. So Jill, are you ready? Are you ready?
You don't have to ask me twice. Let's get this over and done with. And I can go eat my dinner.
Okay, cool. So my first question is to you, because there's no one else here. You face a lot of your own personal challenges because of medical issues that you face, one of them being polycystic ovarian syndrome, where you can do everything right. You can eat your 1,500 calories or whatever, eat in a fantastic deficit, train every day like a demon, and then you get on the scale and either you've spent the whole week to only lose 100 grams or you've gained weight for absolutely no reason. How do you deal with that? How do you stay motivated when the scale isn't showing you the kind of progress you know you deserve?
Well, first of all, I swear a lot at the scale. I also jump on the scale about 10 times in a row, hoping that it's bugging out the first few times. So there's a lot of denial, anger, and rage. Okay, I'm kidding. Like some days it's like that, but I think the biggest piece of advice that I can give to anyone who's been diagnosed with PCOS is to actually embrace the diagnosis, and to educate yourself as much as possible. The biggest mistake I've made in recent years was ignoring the diagnosis, because I had a very strong approach to people can lose weight regardless. And I realized this is putting it in quite a hard nutshell, but basically, I've heard of people saying PCOS, you just can't lose weight. It's impossible and that's doomed. And I rejected that full-heartedly, but I decided not to even look at it at all. And I just tried to do my own thing. And in the last year and a half, I've realized that PCOS is a very real thing to actually challenge or to live with. And by ignoring it or denying it, it's just going to end up making a person incredibly frustrated. PCOS is also incredibly complex, like not one size fits all. You do need a professional medical person to officially diagnose you. And I'm not going to go into all the details and the symptoms of PCOS. That is for a discussion for another day. But ultimately, what I do want to just also say is that living with PCOS, it is completely possible to lose weight. The biggest thing that's helped me is learning to really trust the process. And I say this all the time, but I have to remind myself every time I feel like I've really put in the work. And I do. I rock up, I do my calorie deficits, I train hard, I lift weights, I do everything. And 2-3 weeks can go by, and the science tells me I should have lost at least 2.5 or 3 kilograms. And it shows me that I've picked up another 1.5 kilograms. So the best thing that I can do and can recommend is for women who are on a weight loss journey, fat loss specifically, is to make sure that when you take your scale readings, it's to take yourself over a 4-week cycle. So yes, weigh yourself every day, but just know that week 1, you might lose 3 kilograms. And then in week 3, you might gain 4.5 kilograms. It's normal. It's part of a cycle. We don't have the time to go into all of it now, but that's why it's really important that women need to take a big picture and look at 4 weeks. I've personally just gone through my own hell. You can ask Nicola, where for the last 4 weeks, I've been at it, like when I say 110%, I really mean it. And for about 3 weeks, I didn't lose a single gram. In fact, I kept gaining, but I kept a graph. And lo and behold, at the end of the 4 weeks, I've actually lost 4.5 kilograms. Last week, I would have told you that I was making 0 progress. So trust the process. So that helps me working or living with PCOS. Just trust the process, because it is possible to lose weight. You just need to know how to manage the symptoms. Yeah. I think that covers it.
And also have someone you can bitch and moan to about it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, cool. Your turn. Show me, give me the money question. Okay. All right. I'm about to read you my question to you. Okay, so here we go. Are you ready, Miss Davidson?
I'm so ready. Hit me.
How much does your environment and your social life affect your adherence to your weight loss journey? And do you think that external factors can affect a person's ability to stick to things? What's been your personal experience?
My personal experience is that external factors have not... I couldn't even get through that sentence without laughing. External factors play like a huge role. Like I am someone who loves a drink. I have a rubber arm. You don't even need to get through the sentence. You just need to call me and you're like, Nicola, do you want? I'm like, yes, I'm there. In fact, I'll be at the pub before you even finish your sentence. So it's, yeah, I am very easily swayed, but I own my choices. Like I would never blame anyone else. Like all the ridiculous things that I've done, all the bad decisions I've made are like totally my own. So when it comes to external factors, like the easiest thing for me to do was just to extricate myself from those, just to literally move away. Like I moved from Cape Town to Knysna to literally get away from the external factors. And now I'm living at home with my parents at the age of 44. Yeah, that's really awesome. But it is kind of like being on the Biggest Loser farm. I kind of feel like
there's a lot of people that want to come to that farm. I can tell you right now. Your parents can open up a retreat.
I'm on the Knysna fat farm. But yeah, I had to literally move away. Oh my God, you're dying over there. I had to literally move away from Knysna. I mean, now you see, you're making me forget what I'm saying because I'm looking at you laughing. I literally had to move away from all the external factors that were negatively impacting my life. I had to move away from people that I would say yes to, decisions that I would say yes to, in order just to say yes to myself for once. So yeah, and then I moved back to Cape Town thinking that I could totally conquer it all, and I realized that I still had a lot of work left to do on myself and how I navigated triggers and negative experiences and influences. So I came back to do some more work on myself. So now it's the second season of The Biggest Loser. And yeah, so my advice would be to recognize what your external influences are, to have awareness of them, to take ownership of them. You don't want to be a victim. You don't want to say, oh, well, it wasn't my fault. Sorry, but it is your fault. You want to recognize what those influences are, take ownership of them, and see how you can move away from them. Obviously, I'm very privileged to have been able to physically move away, but a lot of people don't have that luxury. So how can you move away from those figuratively and not literally? You know what I mean? So it's just recognizing what those are and how to put distance between yourself and them. That's the best I got.
It's good. Okay. It's good. I'll take it. I was worried we were gonna like lose the wheels there and it was gonna become a blooper, but I think we've made it. Keep it rolling.
I think we got back on track. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, now one for you. A challenge that a lot of people have when they're on a weight loss journey or trying to eat healthy and instill healthy habits is that they're part of a family. So they're living at home with other people who aren't on that same journey and who want to eat all of the things all the time. Like, you know, you live with your boyfriend and he loves his pizza and his junk food and his chocolate, and it's not exactly the way that you need to be eating to lose weight. So how do you personally overcome that challenge? And if you do join him in the pizza and chocolate fest, how do you get back on board again?
Well, look, I mean, it's not easy, but the best thing you can do is just like anyone who's living with you, you need to kick them out. Okay, not actual answer. Beep. So yeah, basically, I'm living with a full-grown toddler. He doesn't want to eat vegetables. Pretty fussy about certain things. So as long as it's meat and potatoes or fried chips, like that is a staple diet. So I have to cater for that. He's a healthy weight. He's not the one struggling with obesity like I am. So I definitely don't dictate like what he can or what he can't eat. When I'm in my binging episodes, I buy a lot of snacks for him as well. Like he gets his own pile and I get my own pile. But then when I get back in the driving seat, then the snacks come to an end. So I won't go and buy snacks because that is a trigger for me. But I will tell him, hey, listen, I'm ordering online or I'm going to the shop. Do you want a snack? And he'll say to me, I want a chocolate and I want licorice or whatever. So then I'll sort him out. And I won't buy me a snack because, yeah, it's really, I think it's very unfair if you are doing this weight loss journey for yourself. I think it's very unfair to put that expectation on family members. You may have family members that also need to lose weight or have their own health challenges, but ultimately you can't force anyone to do what you're doing, and the journey is hard, so you really need to do it for yourself. A lot of people say, oh, but I don't have the support in this and that. It's wonderful when your partner is supportive, but I've definitely had occasions where I've had to sit watching my partner eat chocolate or eat the pizza or whatever, or it's 11 o'clock at night and he's eating peanut butter syrup sandwiches on white bread, which I would love to have, and I can't because my calories are done for the day. But you know, it's my goals, it's my journey. So what I'll do is, like, when we cook, well, we've just started using a catering company, so it's kind of a different story now. But when I was cooking meals for us, I would just make sure that when I had healthy vegetables and salad for me, I'd make sure he had fried chips or he had vegetables that he would eat, like butternut or gem squash. Then I would put his cinnamon and sugar and butter with it, because then he'll eat it. Like I said, it's like a child, but then he'll eat it. So the thing is, yeah, sometimes I am cooking more than one food thing, but that is reality. I can't expect him to be eating as strict as I am. So yeah, that it is a challenge, but you have to cater for everyone's diet. A lot of the times you can make it work. Like, you can make good healthy meals as well. It's not like we're eating chicken and broccoli or Brussels sprouts every night.
Brussels sprouts is amazing.
Yeah, but if I'm doing like a what did you just say? I'm gonna have a little
Brussels sprouts. Amazing.
Demon. Did you see I edited an evil demon face on the Brussels sprout?
I did. Thank you.
But yeah, anyway, so we're done, and I think I've covered that question there. Yeah, cool. We're trying to keep this short.
But also remember, you don't need to buy snacks because you are a snack.
Where's my drum? Wait, 7 o'clock, it's lame hour. You're half an hour early. Thanks for
okay,
laughing.
It's your turn.
Thanks for laughing at my joke. I know our audience of 2 people who are watching this will laugh.
My mom and dad.
And me watching on my cell phone later counts as the extra view. Anyway, okay, so your second question. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, a lot of people might or might not know you were diagnosed last year. Look how excited I am announcing your diagnosis. It's like amazing. Anyway, Nicola was diagnosed with Crohn's. Now I'm laughing. It's terrible. I don't mean to be bad delivery. Blooper time. Anyway, what has been the most challenging thing for you since receiving your diagnosis of Crohn's? Am I saying it right?
No, not at all. It's Crohn's, like an old hag.
Well,
Crohn's disease.
Crohn. Okay, anyway, let me repeat the question in case I decide to edit this bullshit of the last minute out. Okay, here we go. Clean act. What has been the most challenging thing for you since receiving your diagnosis of Crohn's? Now people are going to wonder why I'm saying it like that. And how have you learned to manage it and still make progress? Because I just quickly want to add to that, there are a lot of people, like now clients of ours doing the Power Start program, and a lot of them have also got autoimmune illnesses and also facing other illnesses that have sort of just popped out of nowhere. So yeah, that is a real challenge that I think a lot of people would find relatable.
So I kind of feel a little bit like an imposter with Crohn's disease, because a lot of people on Crohn's disease have trouble digesting raw food, so they can't eat salad. A lot of them have trouble digesting fiber-rich foods like, like brown bread, whole wheat bread, like apples are really full of fiber, and coffee they can't drink, alcohol they can't drink. So it really does sound like just the most boring way to eat. Totally. And since I came out of hospital last year with the diagnosis, yay me, I started to reintroduce foods really slowly to try and see what my digestive system could and could not take. And I think the only thing when I'm eating how a normal person should eat, when I'm eating like regular size portions, when I'm eating good healthy food, the only thing that I have to be careful of is eating too much chili in one go, or eating too many protein bars like on consecutive days, because no, not in a binge. I mean, just like one a day.
No.
Like,
I know, but it's a protein. I hear it and it's a trigger word, and I just laugh because
there's something. I think it's like maltodextrin, or there's some sugar additive in the protein bars that messes with my system. So if I'm just eating like a normal person, actually everything is fine, and I tend to forget that I actually have an autoimmune disease. However, when I'm not eating like a normal person, when I decide to go like off the walls, binge crazy, and I eat like enough for a small village by myself in the space of a day, and I drink like enough alcohol to sink the Titanic, then I have terrible flare-ups, which with Crohn's means explosive diarrhea. Fun. And you just feel sick to your stomach, and it is not fun.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've seen you go through your flare-ups, and that is not for the hearted. Yeah. It's no joke.
It's pretty horrible. At the same time, I kind of feel like I don't have the right to complain because I've done it to myself. It's not like I'm lying around being all good and fabulous, and then suddenly, boom, it happens. No, I like do it to myself. And then I think, yep, worth it. And then the next day when I'm going through a flare-up, I'm like, nope, not worth it. So
also,
I'm still learning.
Yeah, but also I think like just like remembering to be like kind to yourself as well. Like, yes, as I don't know anyone else that's been more diligent and consistent. And I know you've had like one or two, you know, over the last year and a half where you would have, let's not call it fall off the wagon, but like you'd go to like a few binge episodes and you'd have these flare-ups, etc. And like you say, yeah, you deserve it all itself, like self-sabotage. But I think a lot of people, if I look at me getting my diagnosis, 3 years ago, pre-diabetes, and the doctor's telling me if you don't change your diet, it's going to lead to diabetes. And then me still continuing to eat as I was before, as if it meant nothing. So I think sometimes even when we have a actual illness diagnosis, we can still go against what we know we should be doing, because I think it's like human nature, and we respond, which is one of the things why we share our journey about these are the downs that we go through. I mean, if it was perfect, we would just be like, hey, no issues, and you would never have flare-ups. But here we are, fat again. No, we're doing well.
What I'm going to say is don't share a bathroom with me when I come down on one of my visits to Cape Town. That's all I'm going to say. But it's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process, and I'll get better at it. I mean, it's only November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. I mean, it's like 8 months since I was diagnosed. I mean, there are some people who've been living with this for decades. So it's 8 months. So I'm just learning as I go. What I've learned is
it feels longer.
Can't binge eat and drink like I used to. So I need to keep that under control. So like today, I came very, very, very close to having a binge. And one of the things that I told myself was think about how shit you're going to feel tomorrow, literally. And that's one of the things that stopped me. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing though. When you do get a flare-up, you get a bad flare-up. Like you don't. It's not just like, oh, okay, it's bad. Like you get taken man down.
Man down, woman down. Anyway, okay. Enough about that. But thank you for the question. Okay, my final question to you, Jill Scott, is out of all the advice you've been given on your journey, what's the most important piece of advice you've been given? One that really helps you when it comes to facing challenges head on?
Man, I wish I had something amazingly new motto, new everything, but consistency. It's boring. It's boring as fuck. Excuse the language, but
I'm right now so bored.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Consistency. Listen, consistency. Everyone's gonna let's fall off the wagon, because everyone knows what the hell we're talking about when you say fall off the freaking wagon. The thing is to just keep getting back. Like, don't skip more than 2-3 workouts in a row, 2 or 3 or 4, because it becomes 3 weeks later, and then 2 months later, you're like, oh, I just can't start. You know what the biggest excuse everyone has? They always say, I just can't start. I just can't start. Like, you know what to do, but and you know what's so crazy is that we know what that feels like, because we've had so many I call them dead starts. It's like your engine's cold, so it's like, and then you're like, I can't start. And you know where you're going, you've got petrol in the car, but you've left it in the garage for so long, so it needs a little bit of love and warming up. But we just end up sitting in that dead wheel, just going, and then like you get out and you'll go like complain to the neighbors or something and be like, I tried, I give up, and you just go back inside. It is normal to go through that about 10 or 100 times, but the beauty of it is that once you start, which is literally just start, you're going to look back and be like, yes, why did that take so long just to start? So the biggest thing is just consistency. Yeah, you're going to mess up on a weekend. Of course you are. Big surprise. Everybody messes up on a weekend. Yeah, you're going to binge. Yeah, you're going to fall off track. Yeah, you're going to skip a couple of workouts. But don't let more than 2-3 days go by. Weekend, fine. Start again on the Monday. That's the best advice I can offer you guys, is consistency, because that is the actual key to sustainable, healthy weight loss. Drop the mic. Bye. Damn, my shoulder was still in the picture.
Nice.
I did a dolphin dive. Did you see?
I didn't know what that was. I thought you were just leaving the video.
I was waiting for you to give your seal of approval, but okay, last question. Last question.
Let's wrap it up. What have you got for me? What have you got?
Okay, you kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but here we go. Are there certain foods you cannot keep in the house that are a trigger for you? I'm always so impressed with the way you can include biscuits and fudge. Now I'm reading this, but Nicola, holy shit, I actually am. Nicola will, like, there's this cute fudge shop outside of Neisner or on the way to Wilderness, or wherever you go in the woods and go get your dark fudge from. But she comes back with this whole collection of fudge. And then at last, she cuts it up. She cuts it up into like week spaces. And it's like it's like an advent calendar. And that's exactly what it's like for every month. It must be amazing. If that was me, I'd eat all the fudge. So I am actually genuinely impressed with your ability to do that. But I do know there are 1 or 2 things that have their power over you. And I just wanted to ask, like, I struggle to keep things in bulk because I'll just eat all of it. So do you have certain foods that are definite no? And why do you allow yourselves, like, we're all about nutritionally dense food. So why do you allow yourself to have almost every day chocolate or biscuits or fudge? Like,
well, the quick answer to that is because I need to have something to look forward to, because like, even though most of what I eat is like nutritionally dense and good for you and healthy and delicious and full of texture and flavor and color, like I also need something a bit fun as well. Like I need something to look forward to. My thing in life is you need to have something to look forward to every single day. And since I live in Neisner, where there's not much going on, especially because of lockdown, I need something to look forward to, and that's my something to look forward to. Also remember that for me, sugar is not a trigger. I'm not talking about binge eating episodes like where I can just eat the planet. Like sugar is not a trigger for me. My trigger is alcohol. So the same way you ask, how can I eat like 1 biscuit a day? I look at you who has 1 glass of wine or half and then puts it back in the fridge. And I'm like, dude, what the F? You know, like that's, so we kind of have opposite triggers.
yeah.
So that's how I can do that. So I need something to look forward to. I can't have in the house those grenade carb killer protein bars. I don't know why. If I buy 7, I will get home and I will literally eat all 7. So what I do now is I either don't have them at all or I just buy 1. I think the other day I bought 2, 1 for Saturday, 1 for Sunday. And then I totally ate them correctly, like how I'd planned to. And I was like really awesome about that. Except this morning I had a bit of a dodgy tummy because of the thing in the protein bars that activates my Crohn. So I won't do that again. But like, I can just buy 1 and that's it. But if I buy more than 1, they will all be gone. But like what I've done now is I don't buy all that fudge and stuff anymore because I'm still recovering from like a pretty bad binge eating episode and I don't want to make it any harder for me than I have to.
Yeah.
So I haven't bought anything personally for myself, but there are biscuits and things in the kitchen for the whole family and I can't binge that. Like that's too obvious. You know what I mean? Like I can't binge in public. I binge in private. If I eat the whole biscuit stash for the family, my dad's going to be like, dude, what the F? So I can't do that. And God, biscuits all over my face. Wasn't me.
On the stepper.
Yeah.
I need to work off 5,000 calories. I'm doing it 2 o'clock in the morning.
For me, the rule is like 80% good, healthy, optimal nutrition and 20% fun. Anyone who has 100% good, optimal nutrition every day is a robot, and I quite frankly don't want to meet them. I think the perfect balance is 80% awesome, 20% fun. Like that's what it is. And so
lost all our robot audience.
Oh, sorry. So having like a biscuit or a piece of shortbread with my coffee after dinner at night is like the perfect way to have that fun, have something to look forward to, and end the day on a good note. And then I cannot buy those boxes of protein bars, man. I can't do it. They're too good. My Crohn's will hate me as well. So yeah, that's me.
Trying to think of the song. That's me. No. Oh, I can't think what the next line is. Anyway, this isn't karaoke hour.
Okay, so we are done with our questions. We have talked a little bit about the challenges we've been facing and what we've done to overcome them, but it's not like we'll never face another challenge again, even though you and I have been on
this journey. I thought this was over.
It feels like forever, but we're still every day learning and doing our best. And if we don't overcome something today, then we'll damn well do it tomorrow. Just wanted to say to all the Power Starters, hope this has been helpful. And if you have any comments or if you have any questions about other challenges you might be facing, please ask any questions you have in the comments below, and we will do our best to answer them with hopefully a little less waffle. But that's us. Jill, you want to say anything or not?
Nope, I think we've covered it.
So then it's goodbye from me.
What am I supposed to say? Goodbye now.
Goodbye from me.
This was your Laurel and Hardy show. Cheers, guys. Wait, I'm going to stop recording.